Lesson 3. The tragic loss of the space shuttle Columbia is making a lot of people wonder whether humans have a useful role to play in space. Far more than space budgets or repairs of the shuttle fleet are at issue. The deeper question is whether human exploration of the solar system should be brought to a halt as simply too risky and too costly for the likely scientific or economic benefits. Our own view is that the sheer magnitude and mystery of space compel humans to explore the worlds that lie outside our earthly experience. Curiosity and the desire for knowledge, programmed by nature in the human race, make it inevitable that humans will continue into space. If not now, then at some point in the future. It is important to maintain the human space flight program, but it should be focused more sharply on the ultimate, if distant goal, human exploration of far-off worlds. The current program, centering on shuttle flights to the International Space Station, now circling 250 miles overhead, is of limited value and should be reoriented. Even before the Columbia disaster, Sean O'Keefe, NASA administrator, seemed to be moving in that direction. His budget proposed new money to develop a nuclear propulsion system that could carry humans to distant planets 3 times as fast as current techniques, and he planned to intensify studies of the health effects of intense radiation and near-zero gravity on long-duration flights, a major obstacle to long-distance travel. The immediate issue is how much the shuttle and the space station, following this loss, can contribute to long-term exploration. The shuttles themselves, which were supposed to provide cheap and reliable transport from Earth to low orbit, have turned out to be far more costly and troublesome than anyone expected, and more risky, with 2 spacecraft lost in 113 flights. The space station, now partially finished but a long way from completion, has been plagued by unexpected price increases that even before the Columbia accident had forced cuts in the equipment and the number of astronauts available to do the research needed for long-range travel. The current human flight program will be at risk if, after cause of the accident is identified, the 3 remaining shuttles are thought to need costly improvements before they can fly again. Without the shuttles to carry large structural pieces into orbit, the station cannot be completed. That will raise troubling questions as to whether reviving the combination of station and shuttles is worth the huge costs, or whether a small-scale station could instead be used solely for health-related studies. Critics are already suggesting that we should rely solely on unmanned spacecraft to search for signs of life on other worlds or pursue scientific knowledge. Indeed, all the truly exciting adventures in space in recent years have been unmanned. The public thrilled at the sight of an unmanned robot crossing the surface of Mars, and at the glimpses of galaxies at the far edges of the universe captured by the Hubble Space Telescope. By contrast, few people pay attention to astronauts flying the shuttle or working on the space station until tragedy strikes and reminds us of the dangers they face. But surely humans will eventually set foot on a mysterious new world, perhaps Mars or a moon circling Jupiter, and who among us would not thrill to see it? We don't pretend that there are any economic or military gains to be had on distant planets, or that it is important to beat other nations. The basic reason to venture out beyond this planet is to see what it is like out there, to satisfy our curiosity, to engage in the sheer thrill of exploration and new discoveries. The task ahead is to find a way to keep the flame of exploration alive at a time when the space program has been rocked by tragedy and when huge deficits make it hard to find money for grand ventures whose benefits will come decades in the future.